one of those
is
classic segues.
is The Phantom Carriage by
Uh-huh.
Victor Sjostrom. A new Sjostrom picture.
A
We
new
haven't
Shostrom picture.
we haven't talked about him in a minute.
Yeah. And I'm just going to get this right out of the way. I hated this movie.
Oh boy.
I thought it was awful.
I don't think I hated it, but it is yeah, I feel like my problems with this movie are similar to my problems with The Kid, not the like Chaplin stuff, but like in terms of like how much it's kind of beating you over the head with what it's trying to like get you to feel.
Yeah.
This movie is just like is very very dour.
It's
Dour
so
in like
sentimental.
it's dour in unoriginal ways. It felt
Yeah.
like to me, like originality, whatever. But like it firmly sits in one of these weird old silent movie subgenres that we've not discovered, but like come across a lot. And this is the sort of like man drinks alcohol and is mean subgenres. Like this feels like one of the like temperance movies from earlier
This
years.
movie had me kind of looking up like Swedish temperance laws. And they're like pretty there was like a movement for I don't know how involved Victor Sjostrom was in this, but there was a temperance movement that was gaining steam in Sweden around this time, leading up to a pretty big referendum or something like that a couple years later that ended up like narrowly failing. But there were laws that were put in place about like alcohol content levels that could be put in like certain drinks in Sweden. This is very much like if you drink alcohol, you'll fall down a bad path. If you fall down a bad path, you'll drag everyone down with you. The ghost of Christmas way future is going to show you the problems with your ways, right? This story, it's based on a novel, a Swedish novel, but it all feels very post Dickens.
It's very Christmas Carol-y for sure.
Yeah. To me, it had been a long time. It wasn't until like maybe two or 3 years ago that I saw It's a Wonderful Life, and I was surprised by how good of a movie it is. I kind of thought
really
it was going to be sentimental trash, and this is what I expected. This is what I expected when I was thinking that it was. This is like what It's a Wonderful Life. It's like a bad version of It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, It's a Wonderful Life is really really good. This. I don't know. I didn't hate it. Like, I think it's technically very accomplished. Like, Victor Sjostrom knows what he's doing. You know, I think the performances are not terrible. It's really just like kind of the writing of it and the kind of entire the story it's telling is felt to me uninspired and also kind of preachy. Yeah.
Yeah. The general idea is that there's a guy named David Holm who used to be a nice husband and father. He falls into drinking. He becomes a bad person.
He becomes a real piece of shit. And then he dies.
Right, he dies, and there's all this like stuff about like if you're the last person to die at the end of the year, then you have to become the Grim Reaper for the next year. And the Grim Reaper, every night feels like 100 nights. So it's effectively like a kind of 100-year sentence.
Yeah.
So he is the last person to die on New Year's Eve, and then he happens to know the person who was the last person to die.
Yeah, which is the guy that told him the story about how if you die, you become the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, and so he's just kind of going on a memory tour through his downfall in many ways, and trying to like plead, like trying to come up with some justification for why he shouldn't die and shouldn't be cursed like this. And a number of people try and help him, and then he spurns them and coughs on them with tuberculosis. He's a real piece of work.
Yeah, he gets sort of like taken in and cared for by this Salvation Army woman volunteer, who like fixes his jacket and like gives him a bed to sleep in. And it's like, we got you. Like, you're falling on hard times, but like you're all good. And then he wakes up and like rips his jacket apart again, and then coughs in her face, giving her consumption, or galloping consumption, as it's referred to in the intertitles. And he's like, "Fuck you, I hate everybody." And it's like, what the hell, dude? So this is the kind of guy we're dealing with, who then has to get redeemed at the end. And I don't know, I didn't feel like he deserved it. I was like, no, this guy should just die. He shouldn't have to be the Grim Reaper for the next year.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel like he at all learned his lesson or got what, right? Because he has this sort of like cyclical thing of like abusing the people around him, where like people will help him, and he like will go back to just like stealing their money or like going and getting trashed. And I don't know, I was just like, I don't feel like this movie really earned his redemption arc.
Yeah. This movie reminded me of Barry Lyndon in a certain way, which is like Barry Lyndon was a movie that I found myself dissatisfied with at the end, because it's like a 3-hour long movie where it's like, this guy is a shitbag, and then he continues to be a shitbag, and then at the end, he is still a shitbag.
But at least in Barry Lyndon, he's kind of a fun shitbag. Like he's like doing like con artist stuff and like fist fighting people and like going to war and things. And I feel like even in that movie, it does feel like Barry Lyndon is left like soulless at the end. Like he continues to be a piece of shit, but he is like the most unhappy person alive. Whereas this, it was just like, no, don't. He should just have to be the Grim Reaper at the end.
Yeah. My initial disappointment with this movie was to do with the Grim Reaper stuff, and then my later disappointment was just the whole story and everything. But like, I was like, this is called The Phantom Carriage. I want more spooky stuff. Like, give me something spooky. And like, it's not doing it, you know? It like, it shows you, it has some scenes where people are superimposed. They look ghostly with double exposure. Great, you know? But like, I don't know. I really wanted something darker and something less schmaltzy for sure.
Yeah. I mean, this movie is very dark. It's very grim, but it's not particularly spooky. There's a bit of the ghost stuff kind of early on of the titular Phantom Carriage sort of going to different planets. Like, ooh, it's in the ocean. It can go to the ocean because it's a ghost carriage.
Yeah. But I don't know, if Georges Méliès made this movie, it would be so much better.
God. Oh, I mean, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The Georges Méliès Phantom Carriage movie would be a wild ride for sure.
That would be on the poster. A wild ride on the Phantom Carriage.
Exactly. But